see them. Yeah.
Okay, so guys, pretend that didn't happen. Okay.
Okay.
The first genuine question is: what is a film series that you just love, or even multiple? Go ahead and say multiple if you want to, because I have multiple of mine.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
a lot
yeah,
to choose from.
Who wants to go first?
I can go first. I also have two, but it's more of one of them is very quick to pass by. So one of my favorites is it's strictly speaking not really a series, but it's the same continuous universe, and that's the Conjuring stuff. All of the Conjuring horror films,
okay.
Annabelle's, and all of those, because
Yes.
I am a big fan of horror films.
Nice,
And
nice.
Those are just simply some of the best horror films you get in the modern day, and that's
True.
why I love the series.
Agreed.
And the other one that I think might be the bigger one for me is the Lord of the Rings series. Only the first three movies. We don't talk about The Hobbit and the Rings of Power doesn't exist.
Nice.
So yeah, the Peter Jackson films of the Lord of the Rings. I am a massive fan of Lord of the Rings. I don't actually have them in this room, but I have every single Tolkien book, with the exception of The Fall of Gondolin, because I haven't bought that yet.
And
Cheese.
cheese. Sorry.
Yep. Go on.
You want to go first, consumer?
Nah, I was just gonna say something stupid.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
go ahead. Go
Say
ahead.
Something
wanna hear
stupid.
it.
Do it.
I was just saying, if you love Lord of the Rings, you should love fantasy, like isekai.
Isn't that why
I
his
love
favorite
fantasy.
anime was
I
Shoujo
don't-
Tensei?
I love fantasy. I don't love isekai because
No,
isekai
they have
is
like
shit
orcs
fantasy.
and stuff.
Quick
Like
tangent,
isekai
since
shit.
consumer
Isekai,
said
dude.
that. I've recently started watching a lot more fantasy shows, and I've realized that I love fantasy, but I still hate isekais. I still hate it. Like, if I see a show
Based.
that has an isekai thing, I'm not. I'm out of it. I'm out.
Yeah.
But if it's a fantasy like Frieren, then I'm like, yeah, that's my
Yeah.
thing. That's my thing. Like, there's this fantasy show that is coming later, like it's coming in 2025. It's about like a swordsman. Like, I've seen the trailer.
Oh yeah, I
recently.
saw that one as well. Yeah.
That seems pretty interesting. That
Yeah,
seems like
that's
very
really
cool. I
well.
want to watch that.
Basically, consumer. The problem I have with isekai is that in good fantasy, the world building is everything. In isekai, the world building is 9 times out of 10 it's absolute fucking shite.
Fantasy is meant to be escapism, bro, and isekai is the ultimate
Yes,
escapist
that's why you need to
genre.
build it properly so it's even halfway believable.
All I'm gonna say is Frodo is not as OP as
Oh, Frodo is a little bitch.
insert
Frodo is a little
generic-
bitch, and that's the whole
generic
point.
Isekai protagonist.
That's the whole point that Frodo is a little bitch, and he still does it.
Like,
I still
honestly,
think
Sam
Isekai is
should
good.
Sam should have been the main protagonist. The series would have been so much better.
Sam OP.
Yeah, Sam.
Is that the Oh, they're both curly haired. The ginger one?
Sam is the gardener.
Bigger one.
Yeah, Sam is the gardener.
forgot. Yeah. But
I
going back
watched-
to the questions. Oh, sorry.
I'll go for it, brother.
I just wanted to go a little bit on horror trivia with cheese, because I'm also a horror enthusiast, and
Oh, boy.
I have to agree.
Of course you're a horror enthusiast. You love death metal.
Yes,
But
but
Speedy, so do you.
yeah.
the thing is, with
I
the
know.
horror movies, like recent horror movies, I don't find them appealing. Like, the only ones that I think that are good are the Conjuring ones, and even there, like, let's say there are some that are not as good as I would have loved to. So, like,
there
let's say
are.
Annabelle. I think the concept of Annabelle is
Yeah.
interesting, but the movie itself
Yeah.
was a little meh.
Annabelle Homecoming is really good. Also, Nun 2 is fucking dreadful.
Yeah, Nun. The first Nun was kind of
Yep.
nice. I
The
enjoyed
first
it.
Nun is really, really good. That
Oh,
one I
You know
enjoyed.
Guys,
another. Oh, sorry.
I just want to
Yep.
interrupt here. You guys are on about horror movies. Have you seen the first ever horror movie to come out of Bollywood?
No.
Oh, no.
Because I remember I was listening to BBC
Oh,
Asian
it's gonna be
Network with my
something
mum,
interesting.
and there was a trailer for a new horror movie from Bollywood, which was like the first ever horror movie made in
Oh
India.
my god.
I'm
And it-
surprised considering how many films they
Yeah.
put out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There is-
Bollywood has
okay,
a lot of
the guys.
Well, now there's like a few more now, but I can't remember. It's called Kakuda,
Oopsies.
which
Kakuda.
yeah, Kakuda, something like that.
I
It's
just
one of the
pronounced
first
it very-
ones.
in a very
Daisy.
Japanese way. Let me Google this.
Suddenly there's like a bajillion more now, but like I remember a couple of years ago, it was like the first ever one to come out, and it was I haven't watched it, but
Oh boy, it's 5.5 on IMDb.
Oh my god.
yeah.
That's what I call some good
You know,
cinema.
maybe that's not that bad, you know?
Oh, dang it, that was my
could be,
perfect
could be. It
soundboard
might be
moment.
decent.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I just remember it coming on the news at one point. Well, not the news, in BBC Asian Network at one point. I just thought I'd just throw that in there, just in case you guys have watched it or not.
Oh my god.
Maybe we will.
I'm gonna have
Maybe
to
it's a
watch it
future
now because I'm
special.
curious.
Yeah.
But going
Hollywood
back to the movies, what is your thoughts about Insidious, Cheese?
They aren't terrible, but they aren't great either. The first one is good.
Yeah, the first
And
one
then
is
it
one of
just
my
kind of
favorites.
goes. And it kind of unravels from that point. I feel like they tried too hard.
Do we? Quick question. Do we have like a favorite movie question in the questions or?
That's gonna be for the next movie episode.
Okay.
It's off.
Because I wanted
Cheeky
to,
plug
to
there.
ask
Yeah.
you, which was your favorite horror movie? But if that's, then let's leave that for the next for the next
So
episode.
guys, stick around for when we watched our each other's favorite movies episode.
What?
Yeah.
And Speedy is gonna die of horror.
Yeah, I have terrible, really bad recurring nightmares. So yeah, watching a horror movie doesn't really help.
No, horror movie for me. I don't know why. I never felt like they
Yeah.
were scary.
I'm scared to be
They-
in my own house alone. So like, yeah, because I
Who
don't
needs
worry.
enemies
you
with
root
friends
me,
like
you
this?
root me.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
The
something there
thing,
with
the
you.
thing for me,
Need
a
a
good
roommate.
horror movie should do that to you. You should be
Yeah, yeah.
scared after like watching a good horror movie.
I
To the
watched
point where you
Slender Man
can't
when
go-
I was like 6 or 7. I had nightmares for like 2 to 3
Okay,
weeks.
that's where the problem is. You know,
The
you should
movie
I
is-
did. I
the
had
movie
the
was-
same thing as well.
Yeah, the movie was shit though. So like, but
It was very bad.
I watched it back
creepypastas.
and I was like, oh, it's just a shit film. And there was
Pretty
that
much
other
like
one
it.
where it was like they were all on a video call. What's that one called again? They were all. On a
Ah,
video
yeah, I know
call.
which one is.
Yeah,
is,
I know that one as well, but I can't
It's
remember.
It's like
Unfriended,
every
could
horror
that be?
video game ever.
There's the
Friend
unfriend.
request stuff.
There's also one that's like hashtag something. And
Yes,
there's a
yes.
couple of those.
Yeah, I'm not particularly a fan of these types of horror movies.
Have you
Yeah.
guys seen Thanksgiving? There was
No.
that
I
was
think
one-
it sounds very familiar.
Yeah, because
I
it
think
was
so.
there was loads of trailers for it last year when I went to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie on, and yeah, there was a lot of trailers for it when it was on there.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
But what
Never
is
heard of
everyone
it.
else's favorite film series?
Yeah.
Is
Who wants to go next?
You go, Bruss.
All right.
Let me hear
I'm gonna go with a classic one here, and I hope that
Father.
you guys enjoyed it as well. My favorite series of movies
Get the
are the
soundboard
Rocky
ready.
movies. The Rocky
Speediest book.
movies.
Oh, the Rocky movies.
I hope that's that's in good taste because the Rocky movies are amazing.
I have to
They
agree
are.
with you.
Oh,
The Rocky movies are actually so good.
they are
I
good.
do like them a
I
lot.
used to have
I'm
them
just
all on
joking, I do
DVD.
like them.
Like I remember when I was 15 and I first heard about Rocky, like I've marathoned like every movie in a week. And like after that I've started doing boxing, stuff like that because I was like, yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
Ah, that's
I
pretty
love
cool.
this stuff.
We need
And-
to put Eye of the Tiger in the background of this. And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
$500.
Eye of the Tiger
Yeah,
is
don't
in
Prepare
every
to get
gym playlist that I had.
demonetized.
Demonetized. Not
Demonetized.
if we license it.
No, but the thing is, like, there's a lot of good stuff in the Rocky movies. They are like compelling in the sense of, you know, you have like what's that type of character? The
Underdog.
underdog, yeah, the underdog
Yeah.
that
yeah.
goes on top, and you know wins, but then doesn't win, but then it wins, and then you know, yeah, every movie has the same kind of formula. They kind of try to go on a different way with Rocky 4.
Rocky
which
defeats
is-
communism.
Yeah.
That
Which
with
is
Ivan Drago.
it's not
Yeah.
the one with Ivan Drago. I think that the fight is the best fight in the series. Maybe after the second fight with Apollo. But you know, after Rocky 4, they kind
That
of
second film was
went a little
really
bit downhill. Bro, the fight on Rocky 2 is amazing. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that. Every time that I see the fight scene in Rocky 2 where Rocky finally wins against Apollo, I start to cry. Literally,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. 'Cause
Oh,
that
it got me all
moment is so
nostalgic.
It was so hype.
nostalgic, so emotional.
So hype.
Like when he says to the television, yeah, no, I just want to thank everybody and stuff like that, and then he says, Adrian, I did it. And, bro, I start crying. I'm starting to cry right now. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. So
It is a really good one. What do you think of
Yeah.
Creed?
I enjoy the Creed movies. I haven't watched Creed 3 yet because the time it wasn't available in Amazon Prime because I didn't want to go to the cinema, unfortunately. And
that's fair.
but I did enjoy the first two movies. I liked how they kept like the feel of the Rocky movies, but while also going with a new character. Because like Creed, it's kind of funny that I recently made my brothers watch Rocky for the first time, and they loved it. And then when I showed them the Creed movies, like they felt connected to Rocky, but they felt even more connected with Creed because it was a little bit more on their period and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Sort of
Yeah.
brought
And
to
you
the
know-
modern day almost. Yeah.
plus Michael B. Jordan. Come on, that
Big guy.
do I even need to add something else like
Plus,
Michael B.
plus
Jordan?
Kang
He's
the
a very
Conqueror.
good actor.
Yeah.
We don't mention him anymore.
We don't mention that. We don't mention that.
What happened? Sorry,
doesn't
what?
exist.
Wait, what happened?
Well,
Nah.
you know
not a
the
good
actor
guy.
that plays Kang the Conqueror.
No.
Well, he was supposed to be the next big thing in Marvel, but
It's meant to be the next
unfortunately-
Thanos.
Yeah,
Oh.
he went. He got arrested for doing some allegedly doing some
He
bad
and his
stuff.
wife.
And yeah,
So,
and basically Marvel was like, yeah, we're not gonna use Kang anymore after that. We're gonna get back Robert Downey Jr. That's
Yeah,
clear.
which makes sense.
Yeah, which I understand why they did that. Like if you look at in that side, but still they could have just recasted the actor. It's
Yeah.
like,
Unfortunately.
but yeah,
I really like that guy
unfortunately.
too.
yeah, he
Fuck
was
hell.
a good actor. So
You can't trust any of these
True.
famous people. They're all evil.
celebrities can be trusted.
Did you do a dog
Yeah,
disrespect?
Just don't say that about Taylor Swift. Or the Swift will kill
Oh
you.
my god.
Remember that you
Oh,
can't
man.
say anything bad about Taylor Swift or the Swifties will kill you.
I hate Taylor
Bro.
Swift. Come at me.
Speedy,
Uh,
it
well,
was nice to meet you.
Yep, it was nice to know you. Goodbye.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, bye, bye, guys.
Gets
So yeah,
taken out
who
by
wants to
sniper.
go next?
Uh.
You go next.
Oh, okay
Go
then.
Speedy.
Consumer's still thinking. So, if this was like, if we'd done this podcast like before 2020, I would have said Fast and Furious. But like after
My
eight,
guy.
after 8, 9, and 10, I feel Vin Diesel just fucking ruined the franchise. I think they should have stopped at 7. That's it, because Paul Walker died. Everything, like the story was pretty much done. But no, he needlessly extended the story because for some reason they just went to Cuba and they did some drag racing, blew up a car off of a fucking thing, and then like doing
Damn.
even more,
That was so
even
fun, though.
more ridiculous stuff. I mean, yeah, 8 was a fun movie to watch, but just still, the
Also-
thing was like, where's Paul Walker? He was
You know,
one of the best characters.
He's 6 feet under Speedy.
Yeah.
You probably don't
Yeah,
want him
there,
on the
there
big
could be
screen.
made another
Yeah.
attempt that even if these movies are kind of I would say stupid in a certain way, that's what makes them interesting.
Yeah,
Christopher
but the
Nolan
thing
likes
is, though, I grew up with the Fast and Furious movies, so I had one Fast and Furious 1, Fast and Furious 2, Tokyo
Yeah.
Drift 4, 5, all on DVD when I was young. And we used to have
You also grew up with the Transformers
Oh,
movies, bro.
yeah.
That doesn't mean they're
But-
good.
but
Yeah.
fuck you, fuck you. I will come to your house with a
Facts.
scissors and cut your dreads.
Facts.
Okay, but I gotta say though, my actual favorite film series has got to be the X-Men movies, the original X-Men movies.
Ooh,
They're
okay.
very
They, I had them
Yeah, that's
all in
topical.
DVD. They were all my favorite. They were just the films that I just watched constantly. I didn't know what the fuck was going on in them, but they were some of my favorite movies because I was like 3 or 4 when I was watching them, and
Hugh
my
Jackman
brain.
is hot.
Yeah.
Back when
yeah.
Disney couldn't
Hugh
tell us
Jackman.
X-
I was
X-Men
like-
yet.
Wolverine, yeah, fuck him up.
Goddamn.
I'm gonna throw
And
myself
Cars.
under the bus right now. I was never a big Wolverine fan. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Hugh Jackman. I love Hugh Jackman, but like I grew up like watching X-Men cartoons and stuff like that, and I was always a
Yeah.
big Cyclops fan. So I always wanted to see more
Really?
of him. Yeah, I don't know. I always like because when I was
Guy's
a
a
kid, like
loser.
no,
You have to admit
yeah,
though,
maybe
that,
a
that
little
scene,
bit, maybe a little bit.
that scene
No,
of
no, no.
Deadpool cutting the bullets in half when they get out of the elevator, that's one of the coolest scenes. That's in the first X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah,
That
I-
is fucking garbage, that movie.
That movie
Okay.
was so garbage, but it was so
No,
good.
whoa, whoa,
I
whoa.
love that film.
I think
for
I'm
being
probably
garbage.
the only person in this planet that actually enjoys that movie.
I enjoy that movie as well. Handshake.
There are really good
Yeah.
bits in it, and then they fucked it up.
Yeah, I can justify the Deadpool in that movie, you know, but
Yeah, Deadpool
like-
in that
like
film.
the whole-
no, but the rest of it was
The
good.
whole, the whole I'm Canadian thing is really good.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Funny little trivia. They were supposed to like this movie was supposed to start a new trilogy of X-Men movies where they would like do origins of like their big characters. So like an X-Men origin Storm, X origin Cyclops, X origin Gambit. But then since the movie kind of tanked in the box office, they were like, yeah, let's just start
Oh,
with
right.
like a new
Okay.
team of.
Yeah. And then I think the other favorite one I have, Cars.
Cars.
The
okay.
Cars trilogy. It was
Okay.
it was wild, but damn, I love it. I mean, the first film basically just Rocky 1.
Yeah.
And then the second film was like a spy thriller for some reason, and the third one was like,
Oh
was
yeah,
like
I saw
Rocky.
that one in cinema.
Yeah.
I have not
I
seen a single Cars
I've
movie.
seen Cars 2 was so hype. It was
Maybe
just,
that's just
Yeah.
something about
It was just
movie
it was just-
car movies.
the Cars movies. It was just
No,
too
no,
much
the
fun.
car movies in general. Like you need to have like a racing film, and then you need to have like a crazy plot in the second
It's
one.
the
Like,
spy.
I've watched
maybe
yeah.
it's like something.
Yeah, it was the lore of Cars is actually just fucking weird, but it was just too good. It was like there was this fuel that's gonna like it blows up the cars, but no, it's actually these cameras igniting the fuel with like with like laser shit. But no, the guy who's actually an electric car is actually just a fucking broken Range Rover who wants to kill the Queen. He puts a bomb on Tow Mater, and then in order to like stop the bomb, he has to shout deactivate. He nearly kills the Queen of England. But like, it was such a fun movie to watch. And then they go to Japan. And then later eats a whole thing of wasabi and all this. It was so much fun. Then Cars 3 happened. It became somewhat serious. And it
Also,
was still
quickly-
a good film.
Quickly returning back to X-Men, Halle Berry is fucking hot as Storm.
Yeah, god damn. Halle Berry's.
He's-
Can-
You know what?
can I-
She's
can I-
even
can I
hotter as
get-
Catwoman.
Can I get a picture
Bro,
for
that's,
reference?
that's a take that I have to agree. I
Halle-
hate the
Halle
movie,
Berry
but
is
Halle
Jack
Berry
Burns.
is.
Halle Berry is just hot in
abs.
every role.
Yes, there's no disagreement in that.
Can I get a picture? I forgot what she looks like.
What the fuck?
Bro.
So I was like, which one is that?
She's
I-
majestic. You can't
I
forget. about
I
it.
only watched the films for Wolverine. Wolverine was like my favorite
Like,
character.
Oh, look at
Like,
these muscles.
Everyone
Yeah.
drooling for Storm, and then you have Speedy that was like, yeah.
Wolverine,
also-
hell yeah.
Halle Berry is one of the best Bond girls.
Ooh,
She is
okay,
oh,
okay.
she
She's
was.
in
I do
Bond as
vaguely
well.
remember
She's with
her.
Pierce Brosnan. That's Halle
But
Berry.
she really
That's
count though.
young
She
Halle
not
Berry.
like
You know the
an
neuron
assistant.
anime. You know the neuron
Yeah.
activation meme that
Yeah.
just happened.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
But yeah,
Of course. Very interesting picture you chose there, brother.
Yes. Very,
Yes.
very.
That is the Bond picture. To
Ah.
those wondering, everybody knows the Bond picture when we talk
Okay.
about.
Was she in I think I'm mistaken her for when she was in what was that other spy one in the UK?
Austin.
I know
Powers.
she was in John Wick as well, but
Yeah, she was in John Wick.
It was
as well.
actually John Wick. I don't think so.
No,
What
it
was
wasn't.
No, it's not
Could-
John Wick. I can't remember its name. The guy's called Eggsy. That's all I remember.
Oh,
Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Machine
yeah.
Kingsman.
I was about to say Spy Family. What the fuck?
Yes.
Kingsman is really
That
good.
well-known
Okay, but
British spy film.
consumer. What's your favorite
Yeah.
film series? Or
Um,
just film series?
I'm
that you
going
love?
to cheat a little bit and choose the
Oh.
Vengeance trilogy, which is a series of 3 films by this Korean director Park Chan-wook. I also did a video on him. Make sure to check that out.
Was that from Old Boy?
But-
Old Boy.
Plug,
right?
plug,
Yeah,
plug.
the old boy guy.
Yeah.
So they're not technically a trilogy, as in the films are all distinct from
Whose
each other.
Discord just went
But they-
off?
Don't mind.
No comment.
Not mine.
Oh, God.
But,
Yeah, so they're not a real trilogy, but they all focus on the themes of vengeance. Think,
Ooh.
oh my God, this Discord's going crazy. The most well-known one, of
Quick-
course, being Old Boy.
Consumer flexing his friends on
What
us.
about is it that one guy who gives the umbrella to the girl? Is that one of them? And then that
Yeah,
girl
but
ends
don't
up
spoil
dead?
it. Don't
Yeah.
wait.
Oh,
I've watched the film.
oh, so he's the director of the. Oh, okay, okay.
Wait, Umbrella to the
Could-
girl. What do you mean?
There was a one movie that I did watch. It was a Korean movie, and basically he's waiting at a bus stop, and this girl doesn't have an umbrella. He gives her the umbrella, and then what happens is a couple of days later she's dead, and then he gets revenge. I remember it's a very famous Korean actor. The only reason why I know is because there's pictures of him just
Umbrella.
holding Hello Kitty stuff, and it's really funny.
He's the guys that plays.
He's like
one of the
he's like a
Eternals.
he's like a super tough guy. And there's all these pictures of him holding Hello Kitty merch. It's really funny.
I need
He
to
looks
go
super
check.
serious.
I don't think it's that film though.
I need to find a picture.
The most well-known one is Old Boy, which is about like this man who gets imprisoned for like 15 years,
It's Don
and then
Lee.
he gets randomly released, and then he
Yeah.
like goes to seek out revenge on the guy who like imprisoned him, and he's trying to find out why he imprisoned him. It's also like really iconic because it has like this hallway fight.
Yes.
There's this like really long, like 3-minute take, like no cuts of
Is
this
that the
fight.
hammer
and with
fight
The what?
where he uses hammers?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
exact one. Inspired the Daredevil hallway fight scenes.
Yes.
means-
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably like his biggest film as well. Really, really good film. Really, really great twist as well at the end. It's kind of like a mix of an action and sort of like that psychological thriller and like why was he stuck there. But there's also the first one, which is Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, which is just sort of about this guy who's it's about two really sympathetic people. One guy is mute and accidentally kills this guy's daughter. Because what happens, kind of a spoiler, I don't expect anyone to watch this, is he kidnaps the wrong person. Well, he kidnaps his daughter on purpose for a ransom, and then he's just playing with his daughter, right? But the guy is mute and deaf, so he can't hear or say anything. And when he's not looking, the girl falls into the water. She starts drowning and screaming, but he can't hear anything, and then she dies. So then the girl's dad goes on this really long trip to sort of like take revenge on that guy. And the only reason the guy did it is
What's this movie
because
called? What's this movie called?
Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance.
So it's
Oh,
a
I'm
Korean
just gonna
version of
write that
Taken.
Yeah.
Tim-
Yeah. But the only reason the mute guy did it was because like him and his sister or him and his girlfriend or whatever are like dead broke, and like he can't really get a job. He got laid up for work, so he was just trying to do anything he could. It was the company that laid him off that guy worked for, so he was trying to kidnap the company owner's daughter, but he kidnapped another guy's one by accident.
Okay.
And then she also accidentally died, but it doesn't really matter because like the other guy, what you're gonna tell him? Oops, I killed your daughter in accident.
Oopsie daisy.
Sorry, I didn't
Oopsie
mean to.
whoopsie.
She just fell in. She just walked into the water.
Yeah.
Wasn't my fault,
And
honest.
then the third one is Lady Vengeance, which is tied with Old Boy as my favorite. And it's about this woman who gets falsely imprisoned for a certain amount of time, I can't remember, by her like partner, who I think was also her school teacher. And he sort of like coerces her into this relationship. But then when she like comes out, she tries to take revenge on him. But the cool twist in that film is she essentially catches the guy in the first hour of the film. And then the second hour is sort of like her revenge isn't just her killing him, but that guy is like exploited multiple school children. So she gets like his entire like all the families of his victims, and then they all sort of like take turns enacting their revenge. It's very, very
Let's go.
Moving